What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to How Do I Want to Do This? This is our series where we take a look at all playable options available to players in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, then we rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, and either build them or fix them depending on how they rank. Now today, we begin our talks on the second to last of the Clerics, and that is the Trickery domain. This is a very interesting and different take on the Cleric, but I am very much looking forward to it. It's one of my favorites. Of course, everybody knows Jester from campaign 2 of Critical Role, and that is what this is, but we've gotten some pretty heavy changes since those days, so let's take a look at those right now. Before we do, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded, and share the video with your friends. Of course, this video is a little late. I had to end up taking a week off. The wife has been very, very sick. She's somewhat better now, so we're hopefully on the mend for that, so apologize for missing a week, but we are back, and I'm looking forward to taking a look at this. I first talked about the Trickery domain Cleric 3 years ago, and it was right as I had passed 1,000 subscribers, so man, it's been a while since I have looked at this, but I'm excited to see what the changes are and whether or not they are actually really, really good, or does it make it worse? We'll just have to see right now. We will start off, of course, with our expanded spell list, like what we've been doing. And of course, one of the big changes that happened to all of them is that we used to get some at level 1. Now we get all of the ones from level 1 and level 3, all at level 3. So that's a minor change, but all clerics are getting that, so that's not unique here. So we get Charm Person, Disguise Self as our first level spells. Those are the same, no change. We get Invisibility instead of Mirror Image. That's pretty good. That's an improvement as far as I'm concerned. I do like Mirror Image, kind of, but Invisibility is just way more useful in my opinion, so I'm good with that. And then Pass Without Trace, we had that already, so not too bad. We're doing good so far. Hypnotic Pattern and Non-Detection are our pickups here at level 5, and these used to be Blink and Dispel Magic. Now, Blink is notoriously unreliable. It can be really good, or it'll just absolutely screw you. It just depends on what you roll. So to me, I'd rather have Hypnotic Pattern. That's much, much better to me. Non-Detection is fine. I would rather have Dispel Magic over Non-Detection personally, but that's just me. And speaking of something I would much rather have, we lose Polymorph in favor of Confusion. Confusion is not the worst, but man, I'd much rather have Polymorph, so that is a downgrade in my opinion. However, Confusion makes a lot more sense thematically, so what are you going to do? And then the rest of the spells that we get here are the same. Dimension Door, also at level 7, at level 9, Dominate Person, and Modify Memory. Those are all the same. So the changes are somewhat subtle, but I think overall are positive. Mirror Image, of course, I think is worse than Invisibility. Hypnotic Pattern is better than Blink. I would rather have Dispel Magic than Non-Detection. I would rather have Polymorph. What are you going to do? I think that thematically these make more sense though, so I'm not going to complain too much. We're not doing too bad so far. So at 3rd level, we also get a couple other features. Of course, these used to come at level 1, but either way, these come at level 3 now. And first of all, we get Blessing of the Trickster. This is our non-channel divinity feature. And of course, this is, and as it was before, we choose a creature and we give advantage on stealth checks. Now, there have been some slight changes in how this applies. Used to, it was a range of touch and you couldn't do it to yourself. You can't touch yourself. Remember that. That's a rule, at least in the old version. Now you can. It also lasted 1 hour and could be used as many times as you want, right? It's just as long as it's one at a time, but it lasts an hour, then you can reapply it, so on and so forth. Now it is 30 feet. And you can be yourself, so that has expanded our options there, which is cool, and it lasts until you go to a long rest. Why you would limit that to an hour when you're not limited in how many times you can use it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So this just makes sense here of, okay, I didn't forget in an hour to reapply it to so-and-so. It's on until you take a long rest. So I'm fine with that. That's more of a semantic thing. And the 30 feet, I'm okay with that. I think that's cool. Is it going to make a huge difference? Probably not. I think that the fact that the bigger thing is that you can add it to yourself. That's the biggest change, and that's obviously a buff. But it being 30 feet, I don't know that that's going to be game changing or anything. I don't know. We'll see, but I don't think so. Next would be our channel divinity, and that is Invoke Duplicity. The main reason why everybody loves this subclass is the ability to make a duplicate of yourself, and a lot of it is still the same. So you get to create a duplicate. It lasts for a minute, as long as it's within 30 feet of you when you create it, and then as a bonus action you can move it 30 feet as long as it doesn't go beyond 120 feet from you. You can cast spells from its space as long as you are using your own senses, and when you and a duplicate are both within 5 feet of a creature, you have advantage on attack rolls. That's all the same. So for the most part, it retains what it did before. However, there are a couple of things I did not mention because they are very key to this. Number one, the old version was an action to activate this, but then a bonus action to move it. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so now it's all a bonus action. Makes way more sense and is way better on our action economy. I'm good with that. Even better though, you used to have to concentrate on this, which was stupid. I think that's dumb. I think we should be able to concentrate on a spell and be able to use this, and that is what happened. This no longer takes concentration, which is a massive buff, right? This is a massive buff. I love that it's no longer concentration based, especially after they nerfed our boy spiritual weapon. This is way better. I'm okay with them taking that off of concentration. Really cool. So we're doing good. We're doing good. Level 6, we used to get what's called Cloak of Shadows, where we would use Channel Divinity and turn invisible for 1 turn. Not that impressive, and really was what led to a mediocre ranking. I gave this a 7 out of 10 overall last time, and so Now we get Trickster's Transposition, and so now whenever we either make or move a duplicate, we can switch places with it. That is really good. Keep in mind, a duplicate can be up to 120 feet away from us, and we can do that every turn as a bonus action for a minute. That is a minute's worth of basically better version of Misty Step. And one other thing about the duplicate that I didn't really talk about is the fact that it's invulnerable. It doesn't take damage. It doesn't get destroyed. It's just there. It can just chill. That's really good, right? And now you get invisibility. So you can put up that duplicate, cast invisibility on yourself, and you're good. You can't talk, but still, it's there, and you've got the visual of it, right? So that's still a lot, and I really like that. Of course, you can cast spells from its space, which is cool. That would end invisibility, but still, it's still a really cool thing. I like this ability. Of course, you can do so much with this. I love it a lot. It's really good. So definitely a huge buff over Cloak of Shadows. That feature kind of sucked. And then finally, level 17. We get improved duplicity. However, they are completely different from each other and not even close to being the same. So used to, you could make 4 duplicates and you could move them all as bonus action. That was it, right? You didn't have any of the other stuff, right? Now, however, it gives 2 buffs. The first is that now any creature that makes an attack against a target that is within 5 feet of your duplicate, that attack has advantage. That's huge, right? Definitely a big buff there. And when the illusion ends, you can choose either yourself or a creature that was within 5 feet of the duplicate and give back HP equal to your cleric level. That's not bad either. That's really not bad. So where does this leave us? Like I said, I gave this a 7 out of 10 before. And there have been some pretty decent changes, right? Obviously, Invoke Duplicity has always been a decent feature, but concentration really held it back. That is no longer a thing, so I'm really good with that. Blessing of the Trickster, while it's minor, it did get buffed. Overall, I think the spell list is technically a buff. I prefer a couple of those spells, but I think as far as power goes, it is still better overall. Cloak of Shadows was garbage, so Trickster's Transposition is much better. Improved Duplicity is tough for me because I really wish that we got the anyone getting advantage kind of thing. Even if you have to limit it a little bit, I feel like that could have been a really cool thing to do at level 6 or even at level 3. I feel like it's really tough waiting until level 17. 17, right? Name one party that's going to level 17. Hardly anybody, right? And so it's rough to be getting something that's so good like that, and you have to wait till level 17. The healing thing is good, it's decent, but I'm really here for all that advantage, right? That advantage is so good, but you don't get it. So that's the tough thing, right? So for me, I do think that it's been buffed. I think it's been buffed pretty significantly, actually. However, I do not think that it is a 10 out of 10. I don't think that I can give that to this. I think that it's actually in a pretty good place. I think that it is balanced very well. I think that it's powerful, but I don't think that I could say that it is busted. So for that reason, we're going to upgrade from a 7 to a 9 out of 10. I think it's good. I think it's really, really solid, but I don't think it's game breaking. I don't think it's anything insane. I think it is now pretty much properly balanced. So really good stuff. So let me know what you think down below. Am I being too generous? Am I being too harsh? Let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to be building one of these later this week, and I am looking forward to doing that. And of course, be watching out for new Draft League content. We are doing multi-battles. That means 2 coaches, double the Terra. We're allowing literally everything in this event. It's going to be a ton of fun. So make sure to check that out as well when that goes live on Saturday. Till next time, stay safe out there, stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.